and push the Dodgers to the brink. The Arizona Diamondbacks finally come home, and a roaring crowd of 48,000 is here to greet them. In a sense, their magic number is one. One more victory in this series, and they're on to the LCS against either the Phillies or the Braves. On the other hand, for the Dodgers, well, their unmagic number is 2. They're down 2-0 in the series. Their first 2 starters have allowed 9 first-inning runs. A lineup that was very productive all year long has scored but 2 runs in each of the first 2 games. And their top 2 hitters, Betts and Freeman, are a combined 1 for 13. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. Up in the booth, he's Ron Darling. I'm Bob Costas. If the Dodgers are going to get back in this series, Ron, they're going to need more from Lance Lynn than they got from Clayton Kershaw or Bobby Miller.
You know, for the Dodgers, it was the biggest pitching addition at the deadline was Lance Lynn. He came over, and it was win day when he started. He started 11 times. The Dodgers were 9-2 in those games. But in a little over 180 innings this year, he allowed 44 home runs. He's going to have to keep the ball in the ballpark if the Dodgers are to win.
He'll be opposed by Brandon Pfaadt, 24-year-old right-hander, up and down between the minors and the majors 3 times this year. His record 3-9, ERA close to 6.
He'll be the youngest starting pitcher to pitch a game here at Chase Field in their franchise history. They're hoping that that Game 1 start he had against the Milwaukee Brewers will give him enough experience to pitch them in to the LCS.
The Dodgers have made a couple of changes in their lineup. They moved J.D. Martinez up to third, and Kike Hernandez comes off the bench, and he'll start. In center field, James Outman will start the game on the bench. We'll be back with the first pitch and the lineups after this. Authentic jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and more, and root your favorite team on at MLBshop.com. Happy to be joined, as ever, throughout this postseason by Lauren Shahade. Lauren.
Hi, Bob. Arizona giving the ball to their 24-year-old rookie, Brandon Pfaadt. The last time you saw him in the wild card round, and I asked him, I said, what'd you learn? And he laughed. He said, not to throw 2-0 heaters down in the zone. He's got to elevate, and he knows it. Torey Lovullo told me his first 3 pitches will tell you everything you need to know. If one of the first 3 out of his hand is a sweeper, Bob, he has good feel. He has confidence in his breaking stuff. If all 3 of them are fastballs, Torey said, I'm on high alert. So we will know very soon how this night's going to go for the rookie Torey calls stoic in the very best of ways, Bob and Ron.
Lauren, to speak to your point, he had 94 strikeouts this year. Half of them came on the sweeper.
In the minor leagues, he was a strikeout machine. Struck out more than 200, even though he spent part of the season, obviously, in the major leagues. 3-9 for the season, ERA 5.72. But in his last 3 regular season starts, he was 2-1, ERA just under 3, 22 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched.
Like most 24-year-olds, season was uneven. Started in Reno 3 different times, was sent to the minor leagues, and now pitching in the biggest game ever.
Here's the Dodger lineup he will face. It'll begin with Mookie Betts, who will get all kinds of MVP support. Freddie Freeman will also get some votes. They're 2 of the best players in the game. They're a combined 1 for 13 so far in this series through the first 2 games. J.D. Martinez had 2 hits, one of them a solo homer in Game 2, so Dave Roberts has moved him up to the number 3 spot. And Kike Hernandez, small sample, but 2 for 5, a double and a homer off Pfaadt, is in the starting lineup. In center field, James Outman is out for the moment.
Bob, this season, Betts and Freeman versus Pfaadt, 7 for 11 with the home run. Betts, who hits a lot of home runs out of that leadoff spot, may be trying to make a statement. Pfaadt gave up 23 home runs in less than 100 innings this year.
The Dodgers scored more than 900 runs this season. That's an average of better than 5.5 per game. But they managed just 2 runs, as we mentioned earlier, in each of the first 2 games of this series.
A little different lineup Pfaadt's going to see than we're in the first 2 games. J.D. Martinez has switched places with Will Smith. He'll be in the 3rd slot in the defense behind Pfaadt. And the Arizona defense has been very good in these first 2 games in the entire postseason. Evan Longoria had some great plays against Milwaukee. Perdomo, Marte, Walker, and Moreno behind the plate. Gurriel Jr., Thomas, and Corbin Carroll, the star of this series so far in right.
In fact, talking about their defense, they made only 56 errors all year, lowest figure in the majors. They have 1 error in the 4 postseason games, but that was by relief pitcher Ryan Thompson. None of their position players has booted one. Mookie Betts steps in. Well, there's a 4-seam fastball, so he's got 2 more pitches to throw a breaking ball and leave Torey Lovullo somewhat reassured.
Well, I've been in this position before, and I will tell you, as a 24-year-old, you really don't take a breath until you throw a strike. 2-0 here for Pfaadt.
Does he trust a breaking ball and risk going down 3-0 to Betts? Answer to that, no. 3 consecutive 4-seam fastballs despite Lovullo's urging.
He's got a little cut on his fastball, especially up in the strike zone. Just got that by Mookie Betts.
And the 2-1 is inside. And that time he pulled the string. I guess he felt he would go fastball until he had a strike on Betts. But now he's down in the count 3-1. Down to third base, Longoria across the diamond, and Betts still looking for his first hit in this series. And dating back to the 2021 LCS against the Braves, he's 3 for his last 35 in October.
Well, he had a pitch to hit on the 2-0 count, missed it, and then hit that cutter into the ground.
You know, it's all about seeing it through the prism of fandom when anybody can boo Freddie Freeman. I mean, come on. 3:31 for the season. Swings on the first pitch, drives it to left center field. Back goes Gurriel, and on the track, staggering a bit, he makes the catch.
Well, there was the breaking ball you were talking about, Lauren and Bob. And it looked like Freddie was sitting on that first pitch, jumped all over it. And boy, off the bat, I thought it had a chance, but settled into the glove of Gurriel. Many pitchers try to get that get-me-over curveball. Freddie almost made it pay.
J.D. Martinez swings on the first one, skies it down the right field line. Corbin Carroll toward the foul line, in the corner, makes the catch in foul territory. The Dodgers go quietly in the first. Rain down from the sellout crowd. Here's the lineup that Lance Lynn will face. Corbin Carroll could be unanimous as the National League's Rookie of the Year. 7 for 14 in this postseason with 2 home runs plus 5 walks. Lynn out of the stretch. First pitch, bouncer toward Freeman. He'll take it himself, gets there ahead of Carroll, but Corbin's speed made it close.
Well, that's heads up by Freeman. He knows the veteran Lance Lynn challenged to get over there and have the correct speed to get there to first base on time, so Freeman took it himself. Smart play.
Lance Lynn is 36 years old, 13-11 overall this year, with an ERA of 5.73, 6-9 ERA 6.5 with the White Sox, 7-2 ERA 4.36 as a Dodger.
Well, the Dodgers are so pitching rich usually. They don't have to acquire anyone at the deadline, but they've used 17 different starting pitchers, lost over 2,000 days to the injured list for their starting staff. He is a downhill pitcher. He is stubborn, angry, mulish, and he wants to throw strikes, and he wants to challenge every hitter.
His 0-1 to Marte.
Well, that will be the key for Lynn, though, is if he just doesn't get fastball heavy, pitches, uses the secondary arsenal of changeup and breaking ball.
Fly ball to center field. In left center, it's Peralta along with Hernandez, and it's Kike, the center fielder, who takes it.
Well, some changes in the defense for the Dodgers. You'll see still same in the infield, Muncy, Rojas, Betts, Freeman, and Will Smith behind the plate. But Kike Hernandez is in for James Outman in center field, trying to get a little more offense out of that position. And then Peralta, the ex-Diamondback, in left, and Hayward with all that gold in right field.
Now Tommy Pham, 4 hits in game 1 of this series, including a home run. Hasn't played the outfield in a while. Confined to DHing because of what's called turf toe. But here in Arizona, they insist, no, we don't have turf. This is synthetic grass, so get it straight. Either way, his toe hurts. Comebacker. And what do you know? The Dodgers get through the first, and it's scoreless. Whooping it up both inside and outside Chase Field. The Hank Aaron Award is presented annually to the best overall offensive performer in each league. You can cast your vote today by scanning the QR code or enter at MLB.com/Aaron. Dodgers come up in the top of the second, and we check in once again with Lauren Shahadi.
Bob, look where Brandon sets up on the mound. He's on the first base side, and he told me he changed that halfway through the season. Brent Strom thinks setting up there allows the ball to begin in the strike zone and then tail out of it, and hitters have a tougher time picking it up. Ron, does that work? Does a fastball into righties look different from that side?
Yes, it does. And with that changeup, he was cutting it. It was cutting in on lefties. Once he moved to that side of the rubber, it started with that tail away. Only 13 pitches by the pitchers in that first inning. 7 by Fott and 6 by Lance Lynn.
And Fott's 1-1 pitch to Muncy is taken for a strike. If you're wondering, at least historically, about the Dodgers' chances, teams that lost the first 2 games of a best-of-5 series, be it the division series or back in the day before the LCS went to best-of-7, lose the first 2 games at home, those teams are 3-29 in those circumstances. To counter that, the Dodgers won their last 5 consecutive regular season games against the Diamondbacks. 2 of them here, and 3 in a sweep at Dodger Stadium in August.
And if you look at the whole year, Bob, 11 times they had winning streaks of 3 or more. So they can do it.
When you win 100 games, even with some of the travail they've had with injuries and other circumstances, when you win 100 games, it's not out of the question that you can string 3 in a row together. To his left, Marte. From the edge of the outfield grass, he throws Muncy out.
So as we can see, both teams have come out and are being very aggressive against both pitchers, trying to get that first knock, that first run.
At one time in this rookie season, Brandon Pfaadt was 1-8 with an ERA over 6. But then, as we told you, he had some good outings in September, which certainly increased his confidence. Not all that good in the first wild card game against the Brewers, but his teammates bailed him out. He got a no decision. They won the game. Will Smith 2 for 8 through the first 2 games. Fly ball to right. In right center, it's Corbin Carroll.
So you've seen so far what Pfaadt is going to use against this potent Dodger lineup. He's got that good fastball that sometimes has a little cut on it, that changeup that tails away from the lefties, and that sweeper. He has a 3/4 arm action, and that sweeper breaking ball that he throws with more horizontal break than vertical break.
13 pitches to get 5 consecutive outs. Jason Hayward takes inside. 0 for 6 in the first 2 games with 4 strikeouts.
Dodgers have always enjoyed playing here, especially of late. 22-10 in their last 32 here at Chase Field.
Three and 0. Kike Hernandez on deck.
Could see Hayward swinging here, 3-0.
Takes a strike. Bouncing ball right at Marte. That's that in the top of the second. We just missed 2 pitches, Ernie, and a ball and a strike, so it's all good. Christian Walker, who in effect succeeded Paul Goldschmidt as the first baseman for the Diamondbacks after Goldschmidt was dealt to the Cardinals. Walker has been very, very good, not as good as Goldschmidt, either here in Arizona or in his MVP season with the Cardinals, but still, he's done pretty much all they could have hoped for stepping in for Goldschmidt. Three and 1. He swings and drives one to deep right. Hayward goes back in front of the fence to take it.
Well, Hayward always makes it look easy, even when it's a tough play. See that left hand extended, feeling for that wall. The ball hit right on the nose by Walker, who's had some of the better swings for Arizona, is hitting to some bad luck.
Lance Lynn has retired 4 straight. More on him from Lauren.
Bob, I was just thinking back to when he got to the Dodgers. They needed a strike-throwing innings eater. They were hoping for an uptick in velocity, which they thought would naturally come from just being on a competitor, right? And it happened. But now their needs have changed. They told Lance tonight, empty the tank, let it eat. If you can give us 3 innings with velo, that's what we want.
Thanks, Lauren. Gabriel Moreno swung so hard at the first one from Lynn, he lost his helmet. Back in the 0-1 pitch.
You know, Bob, it was interesting. Both managers said if they could get their pitchers through 18 batters, they'd be happy.
2 times through the lineup, in effect. Here's the 0-2. Chopper, foul. Fielded by Muncy behind the bag, just foul. One thing you know, Ron, about Lance Lynn, how much he's got left at age 36? Still a bit, that's obvious, but we know this. He's not going to be overwhelmed by the moment. He's pitched a lot in the postseason. Cardinals, Yankees.
Well, I was lucky enough this afternoon to talk to the great Tony La Russa, who had Lance Lynn on his postseason roster in 2011.
Now Muncy has a chance, and he juggles it. Does he have time to recover? The scoop by Freeman, and yes, they get him.
I mean, a very simple play for Max at third base. Comes in and just hit the heel of his glove and bobbled it. Luckily, Moreno was running, still had plenty of time, but had to put something on it. A nice dig by Freddie Freeman out of the dirt. That was an in-between hop for Freddie.
Among his many baseball skills, he's so adept at that kind of play. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had a home run in game 2. I ought to mention, just to close it out, that in addition to the Cardinals, for whom he appeared in many postseason games, Lance Lynn also had a brief tour of duty with the Yankees and pitched in October for them and for the White Sox 2 seasons ago.
This is his 9th postseason start. And quickly, just to finish off with that discussion I had with Tony La Russa this afternoon, I just said, what are your memories of Lance Lynn? He said, no moment is too big, like you said, Bob. He's just one of those, if you want to use the term gamer, he's one of your gamers.
His 1-2 to Gurriel. Misses up high. Well, his best season in the big leagues, speaking of Lynn, came for Tony La Russa's Cardinals in 2012 when he went 18-7. And as recently as 2 years ago, not only was he an All-Star, but he finished 3rd in the American League Cy Young Award voting with a record of 11-6 for the White Sox and an ERA under 3. Here's the 2-2. Lashed to center field for the game's first hit.
These Gurriels know how to hit in October. Yuli, his brother, always a big part of that Houston lineup. And Lourdes having a nice series here in these first 3 games. Beautiful long swing.
Brings up the center fielder, Alec Thomas. 9 home runs during the regular season, but 1 against the Brewers and 1 against the Dodgers in this postseason. That's through the hole and into center field. Gurriel's going to stop at second.
Well, I've always thought that this synthetic grass in Arizona always has played fast to the infield and outfield, and you could see it there on the ground ball by Thomas.
Up the middle, but the way the Dodgers had Thomas defensed, there was a gaping hole there. So any ball up the middle was going to get through. A chance for the 38-year-old veteran Evan Longoria. In game 1, he had an RBI double. Back-to-back singles for the D-backs in the bottom of the 2nd. Posing the game's first threat.
You know, the outfield behind Lynn is going to play a big part in this game while he's in there. Talked about the home runs he give up. He's a fly ball pitcher. So they're going to have to cover a lot of ground here.
In tight to Longoria.
Before the game, Dave Roberts said you're not missing or losing too much with Kike Hernandez in center field over James Outman. I might disagree a little. I think Outman is an outstanding center fielder. Kike's a real good one.
3 balls and a strike. The number 9 hitter, Geraldo Perdomo, waits on deck.
Listen, you never want to pitch around a guy with 2 outs and the guy's on first and second. But Perdomo has struggled so much. You have to be careful with this pitch here.
Longoria sitting on the 3-1 pitch and swinging through it.
Good job by Lynn, keeping that pitch just away enough.
The runners go on the 3-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Arizona strands 2, and after 2, no score in game 3. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow at Playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Bottom of the order in the top of the 3rd for the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez takes strike 1. Down the left field line at Chase Field, it's 330. Right field line, 335. 374 to both gaps. In center field is where it gets interesting. Kike sends one down the left field line, and it drops in front of Lourdes Gurriel for a leadoff hit, the first hit of the night for the Dodgers. Between innings, Lauren talked with Dave Roberts.
Dave, you took a deep breath before that 3-2 to Longo. How's Lance look?
You know what? I think he looks good. I think, you know, he's doing a nice job of mixing tonight, and he's going to make his money, made his career on a good fastball. So for him to be behind the count to Longo right there and throw a fastball 3-1, 3-2 by him, I think that builds some confidence. So we just got to kind of not panic on the offensive side, still take good at bats, and don't forget about the big part of the field. I think right now we're aggressive, but I think a little bit aggressive to the pull side. So I like where Lance is at. I just want our guys to stay to the big part of the field tonight.
Appreciate it, Dave.
All right.
So the Dodgers get their first hit, and one pitch later, a 4-6-3 double play.
Aggressive to the pull side, just like Dave Roberts was talking about. Peralta pulls this one into the shade of Ketel Marte. Perdomo with that big arm. Easy double play.
Miguel Rojas, the shortstop and number 9 hitter.
I think when a manager says that his team's aggressive to the pull side, what he's saying is that everyone's trying to be a hero and hit a home run. Let's just group some hits together and get it going.
Rojas fouls it back toward us, and it lands just beneath us. Just to finish an earlier thought, we can widen out on the shot here to center field. The wall is 25 feet high, 407 to straight away, and on either side 413. So you can get some interesting caroms in this ballpark if you're talking about balls to center field or slightly left or right of center.
When you're doing a 3-game series here, you would never be surprised if there's one inside the park home run that results at some point.
Faught's 0-2 pitch to Rojas. You know, when you hear the chants of beat LA, beat LA.
Yes.
For a long time, Arizona was really Dodger territory. Dodgers come out here. The Dodger Network and Vin Scully is on the air throughout the western part of the United States. That's up high. So lots of Dodger fans, at least going back a generation or two here. And for years, the Dodgers, of course, trained famously at Dodgertown and Vero Beach. But these days, they train at Camelback Ranch in Glendale, nearby here. So there's all kinds of Dodger connections, which didn't stop the Arizona fans not only from booing every Dodger, including Benson, Freeman, and Roberts, but also their own guys. J.D. Martinez, who had a 4-home run game for them when he played briefly for the Diamondbacks, and David Peralta, who played here for 9 years before becoming a Dodger. Passions run high.
That's right. Thought this would be a good matchup for Rojas. He's got more of a flat swing, handles the ball up in the strike zone a little better than some of the other hitters.
Rolls one toward short, and his opposite number, Perdomo, throws him out. We played 2.5. No score. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. This postseason, get the best. Well, they just changed the promo on me.
Yes?
Let's try this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Customize your feed, get personalized stats and highlights, and enjoy free live streams with the MLB app. Your home for postseason baseball. Download the MLB app today. And forget whatever that other one was, because I certainly have. Geraldo Perdomo starts it in the bottom of the third.
Saw him fake the bunt there. The bunt is a big part of his game, whether it's a sacrifice or bunting for a hit.
Muncy in close at third.
Hi.
Two and one. To say that Lance Lynn is a big guy understates it. I think burly is an appropriate adjective. And here's Perdomo. Look at this. Hayward back at the fence. Can't get it. Gone. He hit only 6 during the regular season. And he wasn't hitting at all in this postseason. But one swing changed all that.
Ten home runs now for these Diamondbacks in the postseason. And from the most unlikely hitter in their lineup, Perdomo.
Now Corbin Carroll takes a strike. Well, a couple of things. Carroll waiting on deck. Perdomo, who you think doesn't present as much of a threat. Lynn doesn't want to fall behind. Might have grooved one. Boom. Roll to second. Betts throws Carroll out.
I mean, a big swing here from Perdomo in that 3-1 count, and he got all of it. I mean, a Ruthian swing, almost fell over backwards to Perdomo.
Lynn didn't want to walk him. Instead, he let him trot. And as we mentioned, Lance Lynn allowed 44 home runs this year in 183 innings pitched. The record is Bert Blyleven, Hall of Fame right-hander, who allowed 50 in 1986 in 272 innings pitched. So proportionately, Lynn has allowed more per inning pitched by a lot. And he gives one up to Perdomo here to start the scoring in game 3. To Del Marte, if it's fair, and it is, and this ball is way gone. Well, this is what you know about Lance Lynn. He gives up homers.
You know, Marte in his first at-bat, a long drive to left center field that stayed in the ballpark. He is so strong, and shows why right there. Dave Roberts was talking about Lance Lynn. When he came over to the Dodgers, he would be cruising, and the next thing you know, a couple of home runs in a row. That just happened to him here in the third.
Marte hit 25 during the season, and that was a tape measure shot. Same pitch, it looks like.
Yeah, just a cutter that he never got in, just a spinner over the middle of the plate. Marte knew right away.
Big bouncer. Betts has it. And Pham is thrown out.
Marte went where very few people go here at Chase Field.
2 out, but 2 in on a pair of solo homers. And here's Christian Walker. Just to fill out the previous thought, because Perdomo jumped all over it, and then Marte. So just to dot the I and cross the T, Lance Lynn, burly guy, 6'5" and 270. Walker fouls it off. For his career, as we look at the heroes of the moment, Marte and Perdomo, for his career, Lynn is 136 and 95 with an ERA of 3.74. He has been a good, not great, but good pitcher for a long time, and a reliable pitcher who'll take the ball and give you innings.
He was a more valuable pitcher in the day when they coveted starts and innings pitched.
Oh. 3-1.
Last 2 innings, though, he's gotten into a lot of hitters' counts, and that's proved costly.
Well, you'd know better as a former big league pitcher, but I'm thinking Lance Lynn is looking at Perdomo. The count is 3-1. I don't want to walk this guy ahead of Corbin Carroll, and then boom, he hurts him every bit as much as Carroll could have. And here's another shot to deep left, down the line and gone. Three solo homers in the inning. This time it's Christian Walker.
Well, for the first time in this series, the Dodgers did not get hurt in the first, but they're getting punished in the third.
And maybe tonight, the D-backs' magic number is 3. Looking to sweep it in 3, scoring 3 runs in the third on 3 solo home runs.
Hanging breaking ball there from Lance Lynn. Christian Walker had been 0 for 6 with 4 punch-outs against Lynn until that moment.
And here's Moreno.
His first at bat, line drive to right field. It looked like he was leaving the ballpark. That one did leave to left.
Caleb Ferguson is up now in the Dodger bullpen.
In a perfect world, he wanted to bring in Caleb Ferguson for Alec Thomas and through that string of hitters, but he might have to go to him earlier.
Right field, Hayward toward the line, near the foul pole. Fair ball, home run. Now Hayward may be saying a replay's worth a look. Might be worth a challenge. In the bullpen, they're saying it was foul. Hayward is saying it was foul. The right field umpire, Gabe Morales, said fair. Danny Lehman is the bench coach, talking to Dave Roberts.
The umpires will get together here, Bob, anytime on a home run that they're not sure of the call. Remember, the extra umpires are used in the postseason. There's 2 that are situated on the left field and the right field line. Today, Gabe Morales, who was behind the plate yesterday and game 2, is on that right field line.
Todd Titchener, the plate umpire, is the crew chief.
He waved it off, said it's not a home run, but now Torey Lovello has asked for the umpires to take a look.
The foul ball is under a crew chief review.
Well, you think about this. You've got the umpire down the right field line. The replay review is powered by Zoom. You got the umpire there. hard to believe that Morales didn't have a better view of it than anybody else.
Looks foul to me, because you never lost a view of the ball. A lot of times you'll see that ball, it's inside the line, you'll lose a view of it. Hard to see there, but the first look, the ball seemed foul.
Well, Hayward was certain of it. Guys in the Dodger bullpen seemed certain of it.
They have a vested interest
Yes,
in this
they do.
being foul.
But you know what? The camera doesn't lie in this case, and it looks foul.
The call on the field is confirmed. Foul ball. 2-2 count.
That was a historical call right there. Never in the postseason has there been 4 home runs in an inning.
Ever?
Ever.
Going all the way back to the World Series and more than 100 years ago.
Postseason history.
Wow.
Caleb Ferguson had a good look.
So Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon. There's your 4th home run.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
You know how rare it is for a hitter to hit a ball that's a home run foul, and then on the next pitch hit it fair for a home run, but then to hit it after a replay review.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how much I've never seen anything like it. Christian Walker homered earlier. That was Gabriel Moreno. There's so much going on. Moreno rounds the bases, takes off his helmet. Wait a minute, there's Gabriel. 4 home runs in the inning for the Diamondbacks. By Geico. Perdomo, Marte, Walker, and then Moreno, all connected.
And the inning's still going on as Caleb Ferguson comes in. In this era of having to face 3 batters each and every time you come into a game, 68 games appeared in, 60 1/3 innings pitched by Caleb Ferguson. Very unusual.
Well, of course, you don't have to face 3 if you finish the inning.
That's right.
So if you come in a lefty-lefty situation, close out the inning, then you can be done if your manager wants it that way.
Hey!
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had a single his first time up.
The crooked number that you try to stay away from if you're a team or a starting pitcher has haunted the Dodgers starting pitching this series.
And while they still have 6 more at-bats remaining, 18 outs remaining, the way this series has gone, the way their lineup has sputtered, can't be too confident about the Dodgers' ability to come back here. So far in this series, the Dodgers are a composite 11 for 72 for a batting average of 153.
And their starting pitching has gone 4 2/3, 16 hits, and 13 runs.
Hit sharply, Muncy. Tough hop, fields it, fires to Freeman. And that finally puts an end to the D-back third. p.m. on TBS, True TV, and Max. Game 4, Braves and Phillies. Phillies hit 6 home runs in winning today. Castellanos and Harper each had 2. D-backs just finished hitting 4 in a single inning. If the Dodgers come back and force a 4th game, then we'll be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow on TBS, True TV, and Max. Brandon Pfaadt now in front 4-0. Mookie Betts swings on the first pitch, sends it out to center field, and a nice running catch by Alek Thomas.
Well, even the balls hit on the nose by Betts are not falling in now. Just a fine play by Thomas to take the right angle and run that down.
Freddie Freeman flied to deep left his first time up.
Hey.
Not only did the D-backs hit 4 home runs in a single inning, but Gabriel Moreno, after having his home run reversed and correctly, upon review, hit the next pitch out of the park. Marte. That takes care of Freeman. More on the 4 homers. Here's Lauren.
Bob, I'm over here by the Diamondbacks dugout. Pitching coach Brent Strom pacing, looking at his notes. The guy said, smile. We hit 4 home runs in an inning. He said, I've been around way too long to smile in the 4th. I'm worried about throwing strikes. You do your job, I'll do mine. How Brent Strom is that, right, Bob?
You bet. Brent Strom, esteemed pitching coach, will turn 75 on Saturday.
It's one of the best to ever do it. So in innings 1 through 3 in this series, the Dodgers have been outscored 16-0.
The Dodgers won the World Series in the shortened season of 2020. The next year in the LCS, they were beaten by the Braves, the ultimate world champions, but a team they were 16 games better than during the season. Actually, checking my math, 18 games better during the season. Then last year, the Padres ousted them in the division series, a team they were 22 games better. And here, the Diamondbacks, who finished 16 behind them, are on the verge of a sweep. Tonight's StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud.
(1,650 feet of home runs, approximately, for the Diamondbacks.
Caleb Ferguson stays in for the Dodgers and faces Alek Thomas as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Thomas had a single his first time up.
Here we go.
Alek Thomas, as we mentioned, had 9 home runs during the season. He has 2 in the playoffs. Gabriel Moreno also had 9. He has 3 in the playoffs. Thomas strikes out looking.
You want to watch a movie? You're going to need a big screen. Fly Emirates, fly better.
And so you're talking about Thomas and Moreno, each with 9, and between them they have 5. Well, Arizona hit 166 home runs this year, 23rd out of 30 big league teams, 13 now in the postseason, and that's in 5 games, actually 4.5.
They've found their slug in the post, right?
Evan Longoria. Sliced foul.
It's an interesting number you said. 166 home runs. Did you say they hit this year? They also stole 166 bases. How about that balance?
There you go. Higher up the speed chart than the power chart, but the number's the same. Ha! Got him. Two strikeouts recorded in the fourth by Ferguson.
Both hitters looking here, Thomas and now Longoria.
Switch hitter Perdomo turns around to the right side and hits one toward his counterpart at shortstop, Rojas, who throws him out. 1-2-3, bottom of the fourth. But the D-backs lead by 4.
Well, Brandon Pfaadt could not be any better than he's been through these first 4 innings. 12 hitters he's faced, 10 first pitch strikes. He's had 2 7-pitch innings. He's had 5 first pitch outs. He has been so aggressive in the strike zone. And like Lauren said after she talked to Torey Lovullo, he has been using his secondary pitches as well. That's why he's been successful so far.
4 shutout innings, and he leads 4-0. Hey. A strike to Max Muncy. Oh, and 2.
You know, I know the Diamondbacks, like many teams, have kind of a scripted approach in these postseason games. In fact, Joe Mantiply, the left-hander's up in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks while this kid's throwing the game of his life. But Torey's going to have to make a decision. What do you do with a pitcher who's having the game of his life?
Well, you might extend him by an inning.
Yeah. Or batter to batter, but keep going. We've seen so far with other teams in the post when the decision to take out a pitcher has always come a little earlier than late.
Down goes Muncy.
2 strikeouts in a row now for Pfaadt, J.D. Martinez, and the changeup to Muncy. Way out in front.
Will Smith flied out his first time up. Through 4 1/3, the Dodgers have 1 hit off Pfaadt, a 3rd inning single by Kike Hernandez. Will Smith gets into one, sends it to deep left, back near the fence, and beyond the reach of Gurriel. Smith pulls in at second with a double. And here comes Lovullo. Wow.
I knew he had to be perfect or he's going to be out of this ball game. What an effort by Brandon Pfaadt.
Of course, now technically he can't get a postseason victory because as the starter, he didn't go through 5.
He got a victory.
Oh, yeah. A moral victory for sure. And the crowd of 48,000 plus certainly appreciates it. .5G network.
I mean, both of these teams needed a big effort from their starting pitcher, and the Diamondbacks got it from the 24-year-old Pfaadt. Well, Joe Mantiply in there, left-hander who very rarely ever throws a fastball. Curveball, slider, changeup, contact pitcher.
An all-star last year for the Diamondbacks. Came into game 1 of this series on Saturday night at Dodger Stadium in the 7th inning, relieving Merrill Kelly, promptly struck out Chris Taylor, and got Kike Hernandez to fly out. And those are the 2 hitters he's going to face here, because with the left-hander in the game, Jason Hayward is pulled, and up comes Chris Taylor to bat for him.
All right, here we go.
Will Smith, who runs well for a catcher, is at second base with 1 out.
That's in.
Before the game, there was a lot of talk of the batting lineup being changed for Dave Roberts, and he did. He inserted Kike Hernandez. There was some thought that Chris Taylor might even get the call, but with Lynn pitching, a fly ball pitcher, Hayward started the game because of his Gold Glove.
Taylor looks to bunt and fouls it off. Unfortunately, most of the balls that the D-backs hit off Lynn were beyond anyone's glove.
Yeah, Hayward needs to be a little taller tonight. That one caromed off the bat of Taylor and caught Moreno. Got him right in the right hand. Usually your catcher, they'll hold that hand behind their thigh or their back. He had it tucked right underneath, and it caught right off the top of his hand. I remember when I was a kid, Johnny Bench was the first catcher I had ever seen that started to put his hand behind his back to protect it, to not have those hands of the old catchers you meet today and shake their hand and every finger goes every which way but loose. Boy,
boom,
right off the top of his hand.
He has done very well with 3 home runs in this postseason, but he might get a Purple Heart coming out. Remember, he got a conked on the head in the first game against the Brewers on a backswing. And now this.
These catchers are tough. This is what you were talking about, Bob, with a swing by Turang that just caught him in the back of the head. He stayed in that inning, but once he came to the bench, he said he was feeling nauseous. That's when they took him out of the game, but he passed all the concussion protocols. Started the first game against the Dodgers, and here his hand looks well enough to go on and play. You can hear the crowd chanting Gabby.
He has been in the middle of a lot of stuff. The 4 home run inning was remarkable enough, but he hit one down the right field line, would have been the 4th, called a home run, then reversed upon review, and on the very next pitch, he launches one into left center. Here, you want 4? Here you go.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that with the replay in the middle of that. So there's a big time in between home runs. You can see his hand swelling up already.
Want me to do it twice? I'll do it twice.
There we go. You know, it got me to thinking while you were listing all the young players, Thomas, Moreno, and Carroll, that have had a good series or good postseason for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The young players for the Dodgers, Miller and Outman, have not.
Corbin Carroll out in right field. What you do in the postseason doesn't count. The MVP voting, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year and such. Those votes have to be in at the end of the regular season, but still, when it comes to reputation, Corbin Carroll is burnishing that reputation in October. He was going to win the award anyway.
Well, whoever didn't vote for him for the Rookie of the Year is now saying to himself, yeah, I got that one wrong.
Mantiply with his 1-2 pitch to Taylor.
The bullpen for the Diamondbacks have inherited 14 runners. Only one has scored.
Their bullpen has been excellent in the postseason. It was very shaky midseason this year. Then with Paul Sewald coming over from Seattle at the deadline, they were terrific in September, even better in October, and Taylor strikes out here. When you flip it over to the Dodgers, despite their starting pitching woes with all the injuries and other circumstances, in the second half of the season, their bullpen was terrific. And in these 3 games, their bullpen has been effective. But it's the starters who have done them in. Hernandez had a single in the third. He takes a strike. The Dodgers have gone to the postseason 11 straight years, winning the division 10 of those 11, and the one time they didn't, they won 106 games. There are only 2 longer streaks in the history of baseball. Braves and Yankees. There's a fly ball to left center field. Gurriel calls for it on the warning track and takes it. Despite those gaudy achievements during the regular season, there's been a whole lot of postseason disappointment. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. You can get into the game with Max and the Bleacher Report Sports add-on, and it's on us for a limited time. After the promo period, added for $9.99 to a Max base plan. Top of the order in the bottom of the 5th. Carroll, Marte, and Pham, with the D-backs looking to add to a 4-0 lead. Here are the changes for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts moves from second base to right field. Chris Taylor is the new center fielder. Kike Hernandez comes in from center field to play second base.
Oh.
3-0 to Carroll. 0 for 2 so far tonight. That's a strike. The 3-1 coming from Caleb Ferguson. Misses for a leadoff walk. Between innings, Brandon Pfaadt talked with Lauren. Here it is.
Brandon, congratulations. Swing and miss on the change. The four-seamer working. What pleased you most about your performance tonight?
I think just getting ahead. We put up 4 home runs in the early on, and I think just getting quick innings and getting back in the dugout, getting the bats hot.
What did Torrey tell you when he took you out?
He said the matchups were better up with Joe, and you got to make a managerial decision and let it be. And we trust Joe to death. So just getting the bullpen's been hot. Just getting them in the game and letting them go.
In terms of best you've ever thrown, where does this rank, Brandon?
Probably pretty high, especially on the stage. So.
As a rookie in October, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brandon Pfaadt, 25 on Sunday. Can celebrate early, perhaps tonight.
transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Hoping to keep it at least reasonably close. Dave Roberts goes to the bullpen again. Here's Michael Grove.
Well, he likes his breaking ball, I guess, against Ketel Marte here. Didn't want to see him batting right-handed, the switch hitter Marte against Ferguson.
Marte homered in the third. 1 of 4 hit by the D-backs in that inning. Carroll leading away from first, stole 54 during the season. And he dives back.
Only thrown out 5 times during the regular season. This is his 5th postseason game. He's been on base 13 times, 7 hits and 6 walks.
There he goes. No play, steals it easily. And for a second, had Grove stepped off, they would have had him. Because he was dancing off the bag and then didn't quite know what to do. Watch.
Whenever a runner gets like this, everyone in the infield should be yelling, step off, step off. I don't know if the 48,000, Grove could not hear that. He did not step off. An easy stolen base for Carroll.
Meanwhile, the pitch was a strike to Marte, and the count is 0-2. Sharply hit. Freeman's got it behind the bag. Grove covers, and Carroll moves on to third with 1 out.
Productive out there by Marte. I mean, he's looking for extra base hit down the line. Freddie's all over it and smothers it and makes the play to first. But a productive AB.
Dodgers pull the infield in, down by 4 in the bottom of the 5th. Tommy Pham has grounded out twice.
That's in.
Got good arms in the outfield, but the speed of Carroll somewhat negates that.
Time! Wait for him.
Called time because he wanted the pitcher to engage the hitter. What does that mean? Make sure that he acknowledges that he's in the box before he starts his windup or stretch.
1-2. And Pham strikes out. Back-to-back sliders from Grove. Gets a strikeout when he needed it.
That was impressive from Grove. Pham, who's got a 4-hit game in this series, couldn't make contact on this excellent breaking ball from Grove. A straight downer. Tommy slams his bat.
Christian Walker, fly to deep right, then homered. Smith blocks that one. Carroll sprints back to third and dives in ahead of the throw.
Carroll has so much speed, and he's getting such a big lead off third that if it just gets a little by Smith, he's just going to try to beat the pitcher to the plate. But that one did not get far enough away.
It's one thing to have speed. He has aggressive speed. Also down and away. Jose Herrera, their backup catcher, is on deck to hit for Gabriel Moreno. So apparently that injured hand is a bit too much.
Well, it looked like it was blowing up, right?
3-0.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a breaking ball here to Walker on a 3-0 count.
Misses badly. It's a 4-pitch walk. So now Jose Herrera, the backup catcher, who's a switch hitter. Oh, wait a minute. They pulled him back. Herrera was in the on-deck circle. They pulled him back, and this is Pavin Smith, and this is Mark Pryor going to the mound, the pitching coach.
Once they had the walk to Walker and 2 runners on base, they're going to go with their better offensive player off the bench, Pavin Smith. This meeting by Pryor really to talk to Grove and Will Smith about Pavin Smith and give him the scouting report. This is the injury that we showed that Moreno suffered on that foul tip off the bat. Attempted bunt attempt by Chris Taylor.
So Herrera will be in the game soon enough, but it's Pavin Smith right now pinch hitting. Ball 1. In there. So Gabriel Moreno's last swing of this game and maybe of this series results in a home run. The 4th in an incredible barrage in a single inning from the D-backs. 4 solo home runs to account for all the scoring to this point in the game. Three and 1 with Gurriel on deck. Walked him, bases are loaded. Three walks in the inning. Carroll, Walker, and then Smith batting for Moreno. Gurriel is singled and grounded out. Infield back looking for the double play. Ball 1.
Gurriel had that big home run in game 2 right after J.D. Martinez went deep. He answered. Here's his numbers with the bases loaded. Boy, this inning is so big for the Dodgers. Smith has been out there twice. The pitching coach Pryor has been out there once. Just went down and got that breaking ball from Brazier.
An immediate answer after the Dodgers had a small sign of life following the Martinez home run. The Dodgers are already down by 4, and they've scored only 4 runs in the series. The D-backs get any more, that may spell the end. And Grove can't find the plate.
He's done a better job this inning finding the plate with his breaking ball. His fastball hasn't been close.
That's a strike. Even though Gurriel might have been sitting on it, had to throw the fastball just to get the strike. And now the 2-1. A pitch away from walking in a run.
More balls than strikes so far for Grove in this inning.
In there, full count.
Gurriel took both the 2-0 fastball and the 3-1 fastball.
2 out, 3-2 count, everybody off. Fisted toward short. Rojas throws him out. Sigh of relief for the Dodgers, but they're still down by 4. Nicely done, EJ. You're improving here. Marte throws Peralta out. By the way, it's not EJ's fault. They give him so much stuff to do. How do you jam it all in?
He does. Jose Herrera replaces Moreno, that catcher.
And Lauren has an update on Moreno.
Bob, we saw Gabby being hit in the hand by a foul tip in the 5th. He's in the training room right now. I'm told it's a right hand contusion. They're going to x-ray it after the game. He's getting treatment in some pain, Bob, but he can move it.
Torey Lovullo, manager of the year. His first season at the D-backs helm in 2017. As recently as 2 years ago, they lost 110. Here they are on the verge of making it to the LCS against either the Phillies, who lead 2-1, or the Braves. It's set now. The LCS is set in the American League, and it's an all-Texas affair, the Rangers and the Astros.
I mean, we've learned so much every time we go into Torey Lovullo's office, and it's not always about baseball. Today it was about Larry Fitzgerald and John Wooden.
Yeah. Among his many mementos, a Fitzgerald jersey and some Wooden memorabilia. Lovullo went to UCLA, where Wooden, of course, is revered. What a play at first base by Christian Walker. Might have saved Longoria an error.
Well, you don't get his name mentioned that often. First, nice pick here by Longoria, being aggressive and coming in. Bounces the throw in between Hop, and what a play by Walker. He's one of the best in the game.
Well, that's enough from Mataply. And in comes Ryan Thompson, who has done extremely well for them out of the bullpen. The Rays released him in August. Wasn't doing much at all for them. D-backs picked him up. He's been spot on for Arizona. "11 straight times, 10 of those 11 as division champions. All of these obviously come in the wild card or more era. One wild card at least, 2, now 3. But still, Braves 14, Yankees 13, Dodgers 11. And 3 times to the World Series, losing to the Astros in 17, the Red Sox in 18, then winning it against the Rays in 2020. He was the manager of the year in 2016, speaking of Dave Roberts. But usually, whether it's a coach in other sports or a manager in baseball, the award goes to the guy helming a team that exceeds expectations. You seldom see it given to a manager who's met expectations, which brings us to this. Dave Roberts' career winning percentage is .630. Now, other managers have managed longer, much longer in some cases. But to this point, that's the highest career winning percentage of any manager in the history of the game.
Wow.
But when you talk about expectations, as Mookie Betts steps in against Ryan Thompson, who sidearms one in there for a strike. In 21, the Dodgers were 18 games better in the win column than the Braves and lost to them in the LCS. Last year in their own division, 22 games better than the Padres, lost to them in 4 in the division series. And this year in their own division, the National League West, 16 ahead of the D-backs, 100 wins to 84, and on the verge perhaps of being swept out of the division series. Betts hits it hard, but Longoria has it across the diamond, and the Dodgers are done in the 6th. Tomorrow, Braves and Phillies, Game 4, 6 p.m. Eastern on TBS, True TV, and Max. And if the Dodgers should rally and force a Game 4 here, on those same outlets at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Dave Roberts and the Dodgers and Andrew Friedman and the front office have been exemplary in terms of what they've done during the regular season. But in terms of fan expectation, in the minds of some, it's not going to matter that they've won 100 or more in 5 of the last 6 full seasons, including 4 in a row, not counting 2020 when only 60 games were played. Because they have too infrequently, in the minds of many, been able to close the deal. Clayton Kershaw would get the ball tomorrow night if the Dodgers can rally here. Alex Vesia out of their bullpen. The left-hander facing Alek Thomas in the bottom of the 6th.
To speak to your point, Bob, some organizations have gotten so good, and the Dodgers are one of them. It's a World Series or bust each and every year.
And yet, and this is not to make any excuses, because there have been some severe disappointments, especially last year and what's on the verge of happening this year. But the postseason in baseball now is such a gauntlet. It's nothing like, hey, let's win the pennant, and now here we are in the World Series. Freddie Freeman had a season good enough to win MVP most years. Mookie Betts maybe even better. All the Dodgers left to think about. Their season slipping away. Kike Hernandez back in Los Angeles after 2.5 seasons with the Red Sox. Full count now to Thomas, who singled and struck out. Lifts one to shallow left, almost in his tracks. Peralta. Let's go to Lauren.
Bob, there's a common thought around the Dodgers that Ryan Pepiot was one of the better options on the mound heading into this game. Dave Roberts told me, listen, I have to manage this like there are 2 more games after it. Pepiot, he's a bulk guy. We've seen it all season long. And if I'm going to get through this series, I need to think past Game 3.
Longoria struck out twice. Well, here's the thing. No matter what the bullpen choices have been, the only thing to this point that you can question Roberts on is that maybe he should have pulled Lance Lynn earlier in the 3rd inning. But none of his relievers, even if none of them were named Pepiot, none of his relievers have allowed the D-backs a run. Michael Grove really struggled in the last half inning with 3 walks, but they left the bases loaded.
Well, Lauren brings up an interesting point, and the point is that why has Pepiot not pitched? Well, he hasn't pitched because you have Clayton Kershaw who's going to start tomorrow, who's a different Clayton Kershaw at this point in his career. And if he started tomorrow, you'd have to cover some innings for him as well.
Even if he started tomorrow and was very effective, You're talking about 4 or 5 innings.
That's right.
And Pepio would be the guy up first in the bullpen.
I mean, if this was any time during the regular season with this offense of the Dodgers, you would think 4 runs means nothing. But it seems more tonight.
A towering fly ball down the left field line into foul territory, and Peralta has no play. There it is, some ghastly numbers. Of course, when the season began for the Dodgers here in Arizona, Julio Urias and Dustin May pitched the first 2 games. Clayton Kershaw, at this stage of his career, great as he's been, because of his limitations, was basically their 3rd starter. Then everybody got hurt. Tony Gonsolin added to that list. And Walker Buehler, fingers crossed that he could come back toward the end of the year, wasn't able to. Couldn't bounce back that quickly from Tommy John surgery.
Yes!
Longoria's punched out, and he struck out 3 times tonight.
Find great stays across the USA. From boutique hotels to beach house getaways. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
So now Perdomo, switch hitter, turns around to the right side against Vesia. Started the ruckus in the 3rd with a home run. The first of 4 in the inning for the D-backs. You think about Perdomo. He's known for his bat control, bunt hits, led the majors in sacrifice bunts, made only 3 errors all season at shortstop, and he's the guy who ignites the rally. An historic rally. There have never been 4 home runs in a single inning by any team in postseason history until tonight. Perdomo, Marte, Walker, and Moreno.
Three-one count from Lynn. A cutter right in the middle of the plate. And he launched it over the glove of Hayward. He was as surprised as the 48,000 people here. Phillies had 6 home runs today in their win over the Braves.
Two and two. The Braves have been the best team in baseball all year long. Safe to say, the Phillies are not intimidated by the Atlanta Braves. Took them out last year, ahead of them 2-1 this year in the division series. Nobody is as strong, at least over 162, top to bottom, 1 through 9 in their order as the Braves. But the Phillies have lots of thunder in their lineup too.
And they also can counter it with some outstanding starters, from Wheeler to Nola to Suarez.
Full count now. Liner caught at third base by Max Muncy. It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th, and it remains 4-0 Snakes. Four runs in a single inning tonight. The Dodgers have scored 4 runs in 24 innings in this series. And their 2 best players, Mookie Betts and that guy, Freddie Freeman, are a combined 0 for 5 tonight and 1 for 18 in the series, and the one was an infield single by Freeman. He starts it in the 7th against Ryan Thompson. Freeman, Martinez, and Muncy for the Dodgers. Harmless ground ball to Marte. 1 out.
You know, Bob, speaking to those numbers you just gave, it'd be different if you were talking about a slugger who would sometimes go into those streaks. But you're really talking about two of the most consistent performers in the game.
Yes. Betts hit .307 this year with 39 homers. Drove in more than 100. Scored more than 100. Freddie Freeman hit .331 with 29 home runs and 59 doubles. There you go. There's the four guys with more than 100 RBIs. And the solo homer by J.D. Martinez in Game 2 is the only run driven home by that quartet. Unless you're talking about Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, or these Hall of Fame guys.
Yeah.
Relievers are kind of up and down. They can get into a rut, and then all of a sudden they hit a groove. And that's the case for Thompson this year. Not so good with the Rays. In fact, not good at all. And very good with the Diamondbacks. But just looking at him, if you'd never seen him before, this guy has to be rough on right-handed hitters, right?
With that sidearm delivery of slider and sinking fastball from that 6'8" perch.
Martinez chased a pitch outside the strike zone, and that's the way the game and the series has gone for the Dodgers. That's the second out.
Even when he misses his spot, the ball was supposed to be inside. He missed a foot outside, but Martinez still swinging.
Now Muncy grounded out, struck out, cuts and misses.
I mean, this is where he steps across his body and then fires that ball, and like a whirling dervish finishes on his way to first.
Now he takes something off, and with the slider, Muncy was out in front.
I mean, nasty slider underneath the bat and inside to Muncy. 2 for his last 24.
And the 1-2 pitch. Checks his swing, and it's ball 2.
Big exhale from Muncy. This ball just missed inside after that breaking ball.
Full count. Bounce to the left side and through for a 2-out hit. Slipped in between Longoria and Perdomo.
Really what Dave Roberts was talking about early in the game. Wanted his hitters to start using the big part of the field, start grouping some hits together, and Muncy does it right here against the shaded infield.
Will Smith has a double in 2 trips. He's 3 for 10 in the series, and now he's 4 for 11. One of the few, maybe the only Dodger, who has nothing to account for if it should end tonight.
Yeah, J.D. Martinez has had some good at-bats as well. But again, big part of the field, putting something together to a point where one big swing gets him back in this game.
So now Chris Taylor, who hit for Jason Hayward back in the 5th, and it's Strom who goes to the mound, so that generally does not mean a pitching change. Maybe just to remind Thompson about the approach to Taylor.
Yeah, but also, you know, to give him a blow. Both of these teams have asked their relievers to go the extra mile in this entire series. Thompson being asked to get 4 outs here in the middle of the game. Chris Taylor has had some big moments for this team in the postseason. Walk-off wild card home run against St. Louis, a 3-home run game.
That was against Atlanta.
They could use another big hit.
Both the heroics against the Braves and the Cardinals came 2 years ago in the 21 postseason. Thompson pitched an inning and a third in game 2. Of course, there was an off day in between. The chant of "Beat LA" picks up again. And that's precisely what the D-backs have done to this point. And now a few people decide it would be a good idea to run across the field. And the security people are closing in on them. This guy's going to try and climb the wall and get to the pool, but I'm afraid he's outnumbered.
I think he's a little vertically challenged in trying to jump over that wall, so down goes Frazier.
Exactly. Channeling Howard Cosell. All right, so as soon as this miscreant is escorted off, we'll resume. And you can catch the NHL on TNT every Wednesday. You can watch it on TNT or stream it on Max.
No pitches thrown by Thompson during that delay.
Warm night, as you would expect,
Beautiful
in Arizona.
Night. Beautiful night.
Temperatures got around 92, 93 earlier in the day. It was about 88 when the game started, and now Thompson is going to take some warm-up pitches.
He took one, and it was a slider.
Just one. That's all he wanted. 2 on, 2 out, and a ball and a strike on Chris Taylor. Into shallow left field. It's going to drop, and it's going to score a run. Here comes the play at the plate, and there's no play as the ball trickles through the infield. Muncy scores. It's 4-1, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Dodgers doing a great job this inning, keeping the line moving. This ball ran up the label of Chris Taylor. So strong, though, able to dump it into left field in front of Gurriel. He's got a big arm. The kind of throw bounces into home plate off the glove off Longoria.
With 2 out, Muncy got a good break and scored from second base. Now Kike Hernandez, who combined between the Red Sox and Dodgers, hit 11 home runs this year. Strike one.
I didn't like that call. He was the one lineup change for Dave Roberts tonight. Just for these situations.
He singled and flied to deep left. Talk about tough on a right-handed hitter.
First slider for a strike. That one he had Hernandez chasing.
Kike asked for time. And now back in. And Thompson's 0-2 pitch is lined to left center field. The Dodgers are going to draw closer. It's 4-2. 4 consecutive singles.
Mistake there by Thompson. Made two good sliders, but left this one just over the plate enough for Hernandez to drive it into left center field. Never able to stop that run in the inning. And it's 4-2 Diamondbacks.
Will Smith scores. Taylor to second. Hernandez now at first. And Thompson is done. Andrew Saalfrank is coming in, and we're coming back.
See the right-handed hitters against Thompson. Since he landed with the Diamondbacks, right-handers have only hit 139 off him. But the Dodgers strung together 3 straight hits, with Kike Hernandez getting his second hit and driving a second run for the Dodgers. They're coming.
So there's Saalfrank, 26-year-old rookie, who has been very effective both in 10 regular season games and in the postseason.
He pitched in game 2, gave up a walk, a base hit, but then a huge strikeout of James Outman, which was the key out. He's asked to get 1 out here.
Austin Barnes, the backup catcher, the only right-handed bat remaining on Dave Roberts' bench. Bats for David Peralta. And chops one to the left side. It's taken by Longoria, and with 1 pitch, Saalfrank puts an end to the Dodgers' 7th. They cut the deficit in half and trail 4-2 as they stretch in Arizona. The Stars and Stripes are back in action against one of Europe's best. Watch the U.S. men's national team battle Germany Saturday on TNT, and you can stream it on Max. Changes for the Dodgers. Taylor, who was already in the game, moves from center to left, and James Outman comes off the bench to play his usual position in center field. This after Austin Barnes batted for David Peralta. Brusdar Graterol out of the bullpen.
What a season for Graterol. But this might be the most important 0 he has to put up in a Dodger uniform.
Dodgers have 2 more turns at bat, down by 2. A ball and a strike to Alek Thomas. Check that. That would be Corbin Carroll. They don't look at all alike. Hey! Top of the order in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2.
Carroll calls for timeout. I think his career is going to be full of dirty uniforms.
Yep. There's a certain Pete Rose quality about him, right?
Right.
Tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk. Sellout crowd. Official attendance tonight, 48,175. On the outside corner. And Carroll strikes out looking.
After a lot of breaking balls from Graterol, he started that sinker right in on him, and it came back over the plate, surprising Carroll.
On Monday night in game 2, Graterol worked 2 complete innings, needed only 23 pitches to do it, didn't give up a run or a hit. Here's a little bloop into center field for a 1-out hit for Ketel Marte. So he's 2 for 4. Graterol ended the regular season throwing 25 consecutive scoreless innings.
Ketel Marte now has appeared in 9 postseason games. He's had at least 1 hit in all of them.
Pham's 0 for 3. Takes a strike. Oh, and 2. Off the outside edge. And the at-bat continues.
Gratterall didn't have to change his game for the pitch timer. No one gets it and throws it quicker than he does.
True. It's guys like Kenley Jansen, former Dodger, who really had to adjust. Comebacker, Gratterall fields. They get one, they get two. Just like that, bottom of the 7th is in the books, and it remains 4-2 D-backs. Before the game, these are the 4 sons of Mike and Nicole Hazen. As some of you might know, Mike Hazen, the highly regarded general manager, there he is, of the Diamondbacks, lost his wife Nicole a little bit more than a year ago. Died of a rare form of brain cancer. And their 4 young boys combined to throw out the first pitch before this first postseason game at Chase Field. The Dodgers now have emptied their bench. Colton Wong will bat for Miguel Rojas. Dodgers came into the series with a 4-man bench. Torey Lovullo has 5 on his bench. If nothing else, Dave Roberts has a lot of versatile guys, so he can move them around the infield and outfield when he pinch hits or makes a move of one kind or another. Those were Wong's numbers with the Mariners, who released him, and then with the Dodgers, who picked him up. Kevin Ginkel out of the bullpen, misses with his first 3 pitches. They've got Betts and Freeman, who haven't broken loose yet, but they're the next 2 hitters. And Wong draws a walk as a pinch hitter, and Betts will come to the plate as the tying run.
Well, Ginkel now has appeared in 4 of the 5 postseason games for this Diamondback team. Brent Strom is going to go out and talk to him after that initial walk. Pressure's got to be on Ginkel, and he's got to be feeling it as he 4-pitched walked Wong, and now time for Betts and Freeman to make up in the series.
For the year, Ginkel was 9-1, ERA 2.48. Now they've got Sewald as the closer. You bring in a guy like Ginkel in the 8th, generally in good shape, loses the first guy he faces in this situation, Colton Wong.
All that experience from Strom, who's one of the best to ever do it. Boy, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and listen to what he just told Ginkel.
Ginkel's a veteran. It's his 5th season, all with Arizona.
He's not a veteran at this moment, though, I'll tell you that.
No, this was his best season, but this is a different kind of moment. A strike to Mookie, who's 0 for 3. And 0 for 10 in the series. And dating back to October of 21, this is what he's done in his last 37 October at-bats. Marcus Lynn Betts, so named because his parents wanted his initials to be MLB. Mookie Betts has now gone 19 games without a home run. About a month ago, last time he connected. So that stopped him from hitting 40. Stalled at 39. The 2-1 pitch in there. 4-seam fastball, and Mookie couldn't pull the trigger.
Nothing you could do there. Perfect pitch from Ginkel. Perfectly placed.
Yeah. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. Freddie Freeman on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Well, it was the 2-1 Hall of Fame pitch that he made that set up this at bat. Mookie had to be sitting on that fastball again, and he came in with the slider.
Mookie now 0 for 11 in this series. Freeman.
Yeah, 2 groundouts to the right side by Freeman in this game.
1 for 9 to this point in the series. High and away, 1-1. Ginkel gets ahead of him, 1-2. Freeman hit 29 home runs. The ball really carries at Chase Field, generally speaking, and tonight's certainly no exception. Not just the homers, but some fly balls that carried to the track. Struck him out. So he walks Wong, and then back-to-back, he fans Betts and Freeman.
2 hitters that very rarely go out of the strike zone. And this ball up and away to Freeman. It swung right through it.
J.D. Martinez, fly to deep right, struck out twice. Has a homer in the series. Hit 33 for the year.
Had some of his best moments sitting in this ballpark as a Diamondback.
Yep. Before he left for the Red Sox.
Hey!
Shallow center field. Thomas comes in, and that's that. The Dodgers are down to 1 more inning, and the D-backs still cling to a 2-run lead. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. Well, Dave Roberts has moved a lot of pieces around the chessboard. Kike Hernandez now will play his 3rd position, started in center field. Now Colton Wong, after batting for Miguel Rojas, comes in to play second base. Kike, who had moved in from the outfield to second, moves across to shortstop to take Rojas' spot. And the new pitcher is their closer, Evan Phillips, but in this situation, Dave Roberts, using his 6th pitcher of the game, can't wait for a lead that has never come at any time in this series. And if they wind up not scoring even a single run in the 9th, they will have scored 2 runs in every game. Christian Walker, Jose Herrera, who replaced Moreno behind the plate, and Lourdes Gurriel in the bottom of the 8th.
The Dodgers bullpen in this series have had to get 61 of the 75 outs.
Yikes. Walker had one of the 4 home runs in the 3rd inning. All the scoring in that inning. And the only traffic on the bases was guys trotting around the bases. 4 solo homers. First time it's ever happened in postseason history. The 1-2 struck him out. All right, here they are again. Perdomo. Marte. Walker. And Moreno. Herrera is a switch hitter. Fouls it back. If you're just joining us, the Moreno home run not only capped the 4 round tripper outburst but it was peculiar in that he appeared to have hit one down the right field line. A review revealed that it was actually foul, and on the very next pitch, he smashed one into the seats in left center. Muncy bobbles it, picks it up, fires, safe.
Well, the second bobble for Muncy in this game, again, off the heel of his glove. He was able to rebound and make the play on the first one. Not this time.
Herrera aboard on the error, and now Gurriel.
Diamondbacks have been great front runners in the postseason so far. They've led in 35 of the 44 innings they have played.
But at one point in each of the first 2 games in Milwaukee, they were behind.
That's right.
And had to come back to win, which they did.
You're right, Bob. 6 unanswered runs in game 1, 5 unanswered runs in game 2.
Phillips gets ahead of Gurriel 1-2. For the season, Evan Phillips had an ERA of 2.05 and converted 24 of 27 save opportunities. He got 4 outs on 24 pitches in game 2 on Monday night at Dodger Stadium. Allowed 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 2. His 1-2 pitch to Gurriel, misses down and away.
Well, Phillips likes that breaking ball. That's what he features most of the time. Gurriel, home run in game 2 was off a breaking ball from Ryan Brazier.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled out of play. Dave Roberts knows he's going to see Paul Sewald in the 9th. Lofted down the left field line. Taylor, just in fair territory, makes the catch. So that's the second out, and it brings up Alek Thomas. For the Dodgers in the top of the 9th, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Chris Taylor. No one left on the bench.
Neither Muncy or Smith has ever faced Sewald. Chris Taylor 0 for 1.
Missed with the sweeper, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Fans have quieted down a bit, almost like they're saving it for the Dodger 9th.
They're nervous. The game's too close. They want it too badly.
That's going to be inside the bag and down the line. Taylor chases it down. Herrera stops at second. 2 on, 2 out.
Good hitting by Thomas, who continues to excel in the postseason. Fine catch today, and now a base hit.
And now Jace Peterson, left-handed batter who can play third base, is going to bat for Evan Longoria.
Outs are so crucial for the Dodgers, who have to go into the 9th inning with only the 2-run deficit. Pryor back out there again.
Mark Pryor knows about agonizing defeats. The one I'm about to mention maybe would rank ahead of this disappointment if it turns out that way for the Dodgers. He started Game 6 in 2003 for the Cubs against the Marlins in the LCS at Wrigley Field, was cruising along. Then things fell apart late in the game. Steve Bartman reached out on a pop down the left field line. Marlins won the game. Then the next night, Kerry Wood started. He hit a home run, actually, and they led again, but that slipped away. Became part of the litany of heartache for the Cubs until they finally broke through in 2016 after a 108-year wait.
Talk about a reprieve from the governor. Jace Peterson started his season in Oakland and gets an at-bat here in the National League Division Series. A big at-bat.
And the A's are one of the stories now in baseball, not because of the likelihood of their appearing in October, but do they stay in Oakland? Is there a last-ditch effort that's successful to keep them there, or do they wind up in Las Vegas? 2-0 pitch. Freeman has it. Underhands to Phillips, and will go to the 9th. Sewald will be asked to protect a 2-run lead and send the D-backs to the LCS. Ready to erupt at Chase Field. Up 4-2, the exact score by which they won Game 2. Game 1 was a rout, 11-2. Emmanuel Rivera is the new third baseman. They could have gone with Jace Peterson, who pinch hit for Longoria, because Peterson can play third, but they go with Rivera. And now Sewald picked up the save in Game 2, working the 9th, needed just 11 pitches, set down the Dodgers 1-2-3. Max Muncy, 1 for 3, takes a ball.
Said it before, Muncy or Smith, who's up next, have not faced Sewald. Sewald does not have high velocity. He has effective and deceptive velocity.
Muncy cuts and misses. D-backs won 84 games. Had to go to the end of the season just to qualify for the postseason. Here they are on the verge of the LCS. The 2-2 pitch. Struck him out.
Just a beautiful sweeping breaking ball from Sewald. Started on the outside corner, ends up down underneath the bat of Muncy.
Smith has a double and a single in 3 trips. 4 for 11 for the series. Best Dodger hitter. And that's into right field for a base hit. And the Dodgers are still very much alive. 3 for 4 night for Will Smith.
Boy, he's been trying to go to right field and up the middle this entire series. And he's broken out here in Game 3 with 3 hits. Choo-choo indeed.
5 for 12 for the series. Now Chris Taylor, who had an RBI single in the 7th. Kike Hernandez waits behind Taylor. Then James Outman, who hasn't had an out-bat in the game yet. Pop back and out of play. And Sewald's 1-2 pitch. It's hit in the air to deep right center field. Back near the 413 sign is Thomas for the catch. Hit it well, but to the wrong part of the park.
I mean, the biggest part of the park. High drive by Taylor, who seemed to get all of it on just the wrong part of the park.
Kike Hernandez. For the moment, the Dodgers' last hope. Strike one.
Again, the big change in the lineup. He's responded with 2 hits and an RBI.
Mike Hazen pacing. The team he put together on the verge of doing something very few expected. But that's part of the history of the Diamondbacks. Came into existence in 1998, won the World Series in 2001. Fastest ever for an expansion team. The 2-1 pitch. They check. Yes, evens the count. Will Little is the umpire down at first.
It's got to be the hardest call to make for an umpire. You never want to decide the game with a call on a check swing.
48,000 plus. Every seat sold. Almost none of them in use right now. Everybody's standing. And the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to left. Gurriella's there. The Arizona Diamondbacks sweep the Dodgers and head for the LCS.
Dodgers swept in a playoff series for the first time since 2006. Diamondbacks advanced at the NLCS for the 3rd time, first since 2007. And today set a record. 4 home runs in the 3rd inning. It's never been done before in the post.
And as the last qualifier, no matter who they play, the Phillies or the Braves, they're on the road to start it, but they'll take it. They won 4 straight games on the road. They swept 2 division winners, the Brewers of the Central and the big bad Dodgers of the West. And you know how these fans feel. They'd be happy no matter who the D-backs beat, but it's especially sweet because it's the Dodgers, because they always feel as if they're sort of a second cousin to the Dodgers in the National League West.
So the Dodgers in 2 successive years lose to the Padres, and now the Diamondbacks.
In their own division, teams they outdistanced soundly over 162, but then when you turn the page to October, it's a blank page.
How about the acquisitions for Lovello, Pham, who came over and solidified the offense. This is the last out. Hernandez off the end of the bat. A simple humpback liner into the glove of Gurriel and Sewald. Another acquisition that solidified that Diamondback bullpen.
84 wins, a modest total in the regular season. What matters now, 5-0 in the postseason.
Corbin Carroll on base 13 times in 5 games. Brandon fought with the game of his life.
Yeah. Doesn't get the victory because he didn't quite go 5. But in the minds of his manager and these fans, he got the job done. And the Dodgers, who scored more than 900 runs this year, averaged better than 5.5 runs per game, scored exactly 2 runs in all 3 games. They lost 11-2 and then twice 4-2. Downstairs to Lauren Shahade. Lauren.
Torey, congratulations. I saw you hug every single person on this field. I saw a poster on your wall this morning. It said win the inch. How did that mantra lead you to the NLCS?
First of all, there's a lot of love in this clubhouse. It's real. It's here every day. Win the inch means a lot of things to this organization. It's something that we believe in. It's part of our culture. It's about preparation, going out there and believing you're going to get the job done and win the games like this.
I mean, it's like iRobot coming out of the pen. Each guy nastier than the next. I just saw you hug Sewald. What'd you say to him?
He and I have a running joke. We'll keep that between us. But, you know, he's come in here and solidified things for us with such a calm demeanor, an ability to execute. And you're right, it was a team effort. It's people caring about people in this organization, and that's what stood out to me today.
4 home runs in 1 inning in the postseason. That's never happened before. What were you thinking watching that, Torey?
It's almost unbelievable, right? I'm a fan too, and I was looking at it thinking, what in the world is happening here? But I think it's about winning the inch and prepping. Our guys understood what they had to do to make some adjustments, and they went out there and made it happen. The one that was really impressive for me was Gabby Moreno. He hits one foul, and then he hits one fair. It's a great moment for us.
You created this culture. Enjoy it, Torey.
Thank you so much.
Bob.
Lauren, thanks very much. Well, the Phillies and the Braves are yet to settle their business.
That's right.
Phillies lead 2-1, trying to make it 2 consecutive Octobers where they get past the Braves and upset the odds. So here's the bracket. There it is. If you had the Diamondbacks advancing to the LCS, good for you. Final score tonight. D-backs 4, Dodgers 2, and what matters most is the final score in the series is 3-0 Arizona. Ron, thank you so much.
Thanks,
as
Bob,
always, what a pleasure.
An honor.
And for Lauren Shahade, as well as Ron Darling, Elliot Kalb in the booth, and all the men and women in the truck, Bob Costas saying so long. And coming up is the post-game show. It's The Closer with Ernie Johnson, Curtis Janderson, Jimmy Rollins, and of course Pedro Martinez. Good night from Arizona.